Greetings, and welcome to the demo of the MessageCopier for Telegram software. You can access the dashboard by typing this URL you see in this address bar. If you have used your Gmail ID to register when you bought the software, click this Sign In with Google option. Here, I'm already signed in to my Google Chrome profile here. So when you complete the login, you'll be shown the user profile page. In the subscriptions page, you can also see the payment information for the software you purchased. Click the Download Software button to download the MessageCopier Telegram.zip file. If you need to know how to operate the software, you can watch this YouTube video or click the link to open the Google Doc of the user guide page. Sign out when you are done. Okay, so for the first step, we SSH into the remote machine. The SSH command contains the path to the private key, the username, and the IP address of the remote machine. This command will log us into the remote machine. In the remote machine, certain packages may not be installed, so you may want to install using the sudo commands. First is the Unzip utility. So the next step would be to move the zip file that you would have downloaded from the client dashboard into the remote server. So to do that, you can use this scp command, which will move the zip file from your local machine desktop to the remote server in less than a minute. After moving the file from our local machine to the remote server, we can unzip that file to its own folder using the unzip command. Now that we have unzipped our software package, we can look at the contents. As a first step, you want to run the binary executable called setup_telegram_config, which will create the Config.ini file and other JSON files, which are required for operation of the main software. So to set up your Telegram configuration, you basically enter the mobile number that's associated with your Telegram account. Note that this number should have been used at the time of software purchase. This will then send a one-time code to your Telegram app, which is basically like a 5-digit number. If you have enabled two-factor authentication, you will be then prompted to enter your two-step Telegram password. Then the Setup Telegram Config program will create basically the config.ini and two JSON files, which you can see. So I'll just go with these JSON files first. The channelmap.json is an important file. Here you have a skeleton dummy template of a source channel ID and the destination channel ID as key value pairs. The keys specify the source channels where you want to read and copy the messages from, and the values are destination channels where you want the copied or forwarded messages to be posted. Please modify this for your requirement and insert your desired channel IDs. Next, we have the Symbol Mapper.json, which basically contains text alias mappings as key value pairs. For example, if you encounter a certain text like gold in caps in an incoming message, it'll replace the string gold with XAUUSD. We'll see the use of this in more detail later. And finally, as you can see, it created this config.ini, so the default section of the config.ini contains some operational settings, which we'll go over in detail. And basically, as you can see, it contains the session string key, which is required for the MessageCopier software to connect with your Telegram account. This is very sensitive information, which is why you see this is being masked in this video. So please keep this safe and you would be good to go. Let's go over briefly how you will get the channel ID for any Telegram channel or group that you want to clone or forward messages from. So if you're using the Telegram app either on the desktop or on the mobile, you probably won't see the channel number. The simplest way is to log into Telegram on your web browser. In the Chrome browser, you can definitely extract the channel ID from the URL, at least for the channels and groups that you created. Alternatively, if you are looking at large channels, something like the New York Times or Bloomberg, the easiest way to get the channel ID for that is to select one of the messages and forward it to this Get IDs bot, and that'll give you the channel ID of that channel. The software can also handle groups, so this is a group that I created for demo purposes. You can find whether a particular channel ID is a group or something by looking at this edit page for the group or channel. Here, as you can see, I have created both a private group and private channel for this demo. Now that we have acquired our Telegram channel IDs, we will see how to configure the channels you want to track in the channel map. You can open the channelmap.json file using this Vim text editor and press I to go into insert mode. You can delete the placeholder key value pairs in this JSON file, which is basically a template. I copied from text edit some channels that I want to use, so I'm just going to paste that here. You can work on the alignment of the elements in the JSON file, and to save, you hit escape and type :WQ. This will save the file to review that it was done properly. You can use the cat command. This is how we set up the channels that we want to track with our MessageCopier Telegram software. To start the operation of the primary MessageCopier Telegram software, we first create a screen, which is basically a new instance of the terminal window within the server. The screen command will open a new instance of the server terminal in the same current working directory, and here we're just going to launch this MessageCopier Telegram executable in Bash. So when you launch this binary executable, it will show that it has created this log file. At this point, you can detach from the screen by pressing Ctrl+A+D after this. You can inspect the log file using the tail command to keep track of the latest entries to the log. We see some statements in our log file. Basically, the software will check whether you have an active license using your phone number, expiry date of the license key, and finally it mentions the channel IDs monitored for the cloning process. At this point, you can basically exit from the remote VM. The screen is still running. As you can see from the screen command, it's just detached. So you can just exit this terminal window and even shut down your system. The MessageCopier Telegram software will continue to run on the remote server, and all your Telegram messages will be copied and relayed to you live. Now we'll see a demo of this MessageCopier Telegram software working in action and see the messages being cloned and forwarded in real time. As you can see that the message is immediately captured from the source channel and printed on the destination channel. The software can also capture any edits that you do to the message and also relay them instantaneously. It can also handle messages with code blocks, where content is enclosed in triple backticks. And yes, of course, it can also capture edits within the code blocks also. The software also has a feature where you can replace certain text in an incoming message with some other text. So that is handled by what you put in the Symbol Mapper.json file. Presently now, I just put this mapping for demo purpose, which states that whenever there is a message containing the text gold, it will be replaced with XAUUSD. Our MessageCopier software is still running on the screen here. As you can see, we reconnect to the screen using screen_r command, and to detach we type Ctrl+A+D. So when you see a message like this, you can see that gold is replaced by the text XAUUSD. There is also another feature where you can convert this type of trading signal messages into a more pretty-looking formatted message. To do that, we have to go and edit this Config.ini file. So here, I press I to go into insert mode and set this send_as_order_dict to true, and then save the edited config file using :WQ. Now, as I mentioned before, anytime we change the configuration or operational settings, we have to restart the MessageCopier software. Otherwise, the change is not going to be captured. So I'm just going stop and rerun the software on the same screen. So if I send the same message again, now you will see that this is now appearing in a more neat structural way. And of course, edits are also captured even in this formatted message. So if I add like one more TP here, you will see that the TP4 value is also being changed in the target channel. The MessageCopier Telegram software also has a special feature where you can filter the messages you want to be copied to the destination channel. So for that, you have to set this relay_all to false. Now the MessageCopier software will only clone or send messages to the destination channel if they are of this signal type message. So typically, if you want to relay or copy everything, you will always set relay all to true. But in the event that you just want messages of this signal type to be copied, you can hit relay_all to false. As before, you have to restart the software. So we reconnect to the screen, stop, and restart our MessageCopier software. Now what happens here is supposedly if I send a normal type message here, you'll see that this is not getting copied to the target Telegram channel. But if I send a signal type message, you'll see this message is going to get formatted nicely in this ordered dict format, because we set send as order_dict equals true. Yes, we are still able to capture edits on the source message, and everything works as seen before. Now, the important thing to remember when using the send as order_dict equals true is that your symbols must be specified in the symbol mapper. So let's say you're giving a trading signal type message with a symbol that's not specified in the symbol mapper. This will not be captured because that was not added to the symbol map. So whatever symbols that you want to keep tracking, you should add it to this symbol mapper.json. Okay. The software also has a message forwarding feature, which I'll explain here. So for this, we will set the relay all equals true and also enable forwarding by setting that to true as well. Save the modified config file and inspect if the changes are saved using cat command. As before, we reconnect to the screen and then stop the existing run of software and then restart it. So the way forwarding works in Telegram is, if I send a message like this in the source channel, in the destination channel, you will see where it is forwarded from, or if it was a person sending the message, you will see his name. It's basically the equivalent of you doing this manual forward action in Telegram. Other than that, the end result is the same. So the forwarding equal to true setting also captures edits, as you can see here. The way it does, it deletes the previous message using its message ID and then resends the new edited message. And as before, it will handle messages with code blocks as well as capture any edits on the code blocks. The pretty format of trading signal type messages works as before because we have still set send underscore as _order_dict equals true, which overrides the effect of setting forwarding equals true. We can also see the edits are still being captured as usual. While the MessageCopier Telegram is usually used just for a live relay of incoming messages, the software package also has this historical clone script, which is useful to create a copy of historical messages from any private channel or group. There are two approaches to start this historical clone script. First is specifying the source and channel ID inside the Config.ini file, which is what I'm going to show now. You can also specify an after and before date as CLI arguments, but we will see that later in the second approach. So here I'm just going to insert these two lines, the source channel ID specifying that I want to clone historical clone messages from this private group into this destination channel. Then I save this config.ini file. By default, if you are not specifying a before or after date, the historical clone program is just going to clone all the messages from the source channel into the destination channel. Now I'm just going to run the historical clone script, taking the values from the config file, and we see that the clone operation has started. There is a relatively small number of messages in the source channel, as it has been active only since the last 6 months. We can also see a separate historical clone log for this operation, which we can view using the tail command and see the real-time log entries. From the log file, we see the historical clone operation has completed successfully. The historical clone operation also supports copying historical messages from channels with a long history of activity. Now, typically, there would be no requirement for you to clone a public channel, but for this demo, I will be using the Bloomberg public channel. Before we commence the historical cloning operation, we want to get the channel ID of the Bloomberg Telegram channel. To do this, we forward any one of the messages to this getIDs bot, and this will give you the channel ID of Bloomberg Telegram channel. As mentioned earlier, there are two ways of running the historical clone command. The first way we saw earlier was to input this source channel ID and destination channel ID in the config.ini file. Now you can also do that directly in the command line interface by passing those fields as arguments. So here in the command I constructed, you can see that we pass the source channel ID and the destination channel ID directly as arguments. We have also specified a start and end date for this historical cloning operation using the before and after arguments. An important point to remember is if you pass any arguments in the CLI directly, then this will take precedence over what you specify in the Config.ini. For channels like Bloomberg or any private channel, which has been in operation for several years, it is always recommended to specify a start and end date so that the cloning operation can proceed smoothly and effectively. So here, I have started the historical cloning operation to this demo destination channel. If we look at the very first historical message that is being cloned here, we can see it actually begins from January 1st, 2024, so our date arguments do work. The cloning operation is still in progress, and the last message we expect to see is about this South Korean plane crash probe. Please note that when you are doing this cloning operation on any private channel or any channel with a large number of historical messages, then you can expect that there will be a slight delay for the program to actually start the cloning process. Let's see why this is the case by inspecting our log file. As you can probably see from the head of the log, we see that the program first needs to compute the number of historical messages available within the specified date range before attempting to clone it. We see that it has found about 702 messages within the specified range, and we have completed cloning more than 70% of these historical messages. And now it's just processing the last chunk of 100 messages. So now that the process is finished, we can check the last message date. You can see that the last cloned historical message was the Korean plane crash news posted on December 30th, 2024. This concludes the demo of the MessageCopier Telegram software with all its features. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Thank you for your attention. Have a nice day.